I don't get it, man. This is crazy. The shit did seem a place of like hurt, like something happened. But at the same time, some people just hate niggas too, man. It is what it is. I think about Indigo.
Good, good, yo, Indigo, salute, salute.
Hello.
Indigo, you know about the racists. You almost got canceled too, and you
Oh, that's
almost
a
got
fact. Hold up. People might not know about this too. Yeah, you're right. They try to
yeah,
cancel Indigo.
yeah. She was on like she was on her like second day, and her husband called Luke Kane a nigger, and her husband called Luke Kane a nigger.
That's a fact.
And guess what? My husband's on vacation for a week.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay.
You gotta turn up in the house, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That
he
nigga,
left
huh?
me. He left me.
Oh
He left
shit.
me
Indigo about
alone
to
for
have
a
her
whole week.
own. It's about to be Home Alone for real over there, huh?
Y'all think do y'all think that Eminem's racist?
See, it's hard to like, bro. This is America. Everybody's racist, man. I can't sit here and act like I'm not racist. I can't sit here and act like I'm not racist. I can't sit here and act like I'm not racist. And I'm not about to sit here and say Eminem's not
I know, but
racist
yo,
either. I
I
think
can legitimately say I'm not racist though. Like I genuinely don't judge people by the color of their skin. I really don't. Like
well, okay, maybe not racist, but everybody has certain prejudices.
okay, that not
Certain,
now certain ideas of like about people because of their background type of thing. Because of
yeah,
I understand that. I
yeah.
understand that, but I don't think that's racism.
I mean, it's a little, it's a like,
Do this because I think that I just go about things a different way. But would you judge a girl, like a white girl, for walking the other way if she's walking around at 1 in the morning and she sees a bunch of niggas in bandanas and do rags?
no, no. I would say she's smart. I would say she's smart.
Well, you know
I
that's
would
not even the
say,
best example. That's not even the best because you like
yeah,
a girl
yeah,
walking around at that time. There's any group of niggas,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna be walking.
I
Like,
might. They all got the pooch shiesties on, walking up to me. I'm like, listen, let me get out of here.
you know
Nah,
what I'm saying? Like I don't
that's what I'm saying.
and if I see a group of Mexicans hanging outside of Home Depot, I'm gonna automatically assume they illegal immigrants trying to get some work, like type of shit. And they
Yeah,
cannot.
it's pretty nasty.
But this is
Even
what
then,
the
man.
woke revolutionaries like to do, though. They'll take the numbers of the actual number of crimes committed, and they'll say, "Hey, look, white people committed this X amount of violent crimes, and black people committed the same amount. So they actually commit crimes at the same level." No, that's not true because
Yeah.
there are more than 4 times more black people in this country. I mean, there are 4 times
No,
more
white
white
people,
people
white
in this
people.
country. Yeah, more than 4 times more white people in this country than black people. So if
Yeah,
they're committing the same number of crimes, that means black people are committing it at a way higher rate. You know what I'm saying? And that's
yeah,
not anything inherent because of race. That's culture, and that's a planned attack that started by the Democrats. Actually, if you want to keep it 1,000, all right.
yeah. And I see in the chat too. Somebody said poverty causes crime, not race. And see,
That's
listen,
not true.
man.
I was talking to it was about 10 white supremacists in a group. And I was excited to talk to them because I had never talked to any white supremacists before. They were passing out these cards and it was around a bunch of people. They skipped me. I'm like, what was that about? And my white friend was like, no, you don't want to know. I'm like, no, let me check it out. Turned out there's like this loyal order of what they go. I was like, oh shoot, they were about to get back in their van. I was like, yo. I stopped them to talk to them, right? Because I swear, I never met anybody like that, right? I didn't have no fear behind it because I know they're wrong. First of all, I already know that it's crazy, but I wanted to find out, how do grown men wind up spending their time on this much hate? And when I got them, I tricked them into talking because I was like, first they wanted to deny it, but that time in the black communities than white communities. And it was talking about how, hey man, you can't tell me that it is not more crime in the black communities. We both learned something because I was a little shocked about this because they were like, hey man, you can't tell me that it is not more crime in the black communities than white communities. And it was talking about how, it's just like, the death rate, murder and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, proportionally. Like if you're talking about like statistically, where we're coming from, a degradation and slavery and everything else, yeah, naturally things are going to, change. But let me ask you a question. I said, where's the crime rate highest in the white communities? And it's like, and I saw like, is that not in the trailer parks and the the places where is low income and low education? They're like, yeah. And I said, well, let me ask you another question. Do you think rich black people or middle class black people rob and steal? They said no. I said, wait a second. Please repeat that. And he says, I said, you're saying that rich black people do not steal from each other. And they're like, no. I was like, I'm serious. Like, it freaked me out because I go, well, where's your racism? Because what you're telling me is that crime is indicated, it's prevalent in the low income and undereducated communities, whether it's white or black. That's exactly what you're telling me. And silence. They're like, what are you saying? So because if you were truly racist, you'd be saying rich black people rob from each other and rob other people because they can't help because it's in their genetic makeup. So these people thought they were holding up this racial thing when they were just talking about a statistic that nobody could argue. Yeah, if there are more percentage-wise poor black people, yeah, then uneducated per capita because of the history of being, of course, denigrate, all that type of stuff. Well, whether the reasons or not, and we could talk about the reasons, but you're saying it's socioeconomic. And then I asked him a question. And sometimes your victory is just in the silence after you ask the question. I said, all black people don't rob from each other. I said, rich black people don't rob from each other. He said, right. I said, do rich white people rob from each other? Silence. There was this little moment where they went, right? Because he had to think about it. Not trying to put up a racial argument or whatever, but to get this person to think about it for a second, that little eye movement from like that was golden. But the true thing is, the deeper thing is later on in the conversation I talked about, because he talked about the whole racial of the biblical like reasons for for slavery, like the justifications for it. And I asked him, I said, okay, you're talking about Christ and this and that and Jesus and
yeah, especially since I've been trucking, man. I see the poorest white places, man. You don't see a bunch of police pulling niggas out of cars in these poor white areas, man. You just don't see it. You don't see police
not
at
even
all
that,
in these
bro.
places,
Let's talk
man.
about because we're talking about ancestors of slavery. Descendants of slavery, right? Black people.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. But if we're talking about Africans who come to this country and they're like legal immigrants, those people thrive and they come in poverty.
Yeah,
but yet they're not committing crimes.
They come from way worse poverty than us, man.
They come from worse poverty and still living in poverty when they come over here. But yet they're not committing
civil wars. Yes, they come from civil wars, war-torn countries, people getting their hands and feet cut off. Like, like
Facts.
kidnappings at
That's another thing.
all-time
They come
high.
from countries that if you steal something, nigga, your hands get cut off, nigga. Like that's
Yeah.
the punishment of thieves. They're not gonna put you in jail. They gonna cut your hands off, nigga.
Yeah. It's different, man.
So it's a completely different cultural background that they come from to where they are less likely to commit crimes. That's just what it is. Like, how can y'all tell me that? How can y'all be surprised that American black people, so-called black people, commit crimes at a higher rate when the entire identity that's being pushed is through this media programming through hip hop, where niggas worship rappers who rap about what? Oh, committing crimes and killing their own.
Yeah, I would say that's what is affecting black people the most in America is the propaganda, and a lot of niggas don't see it until it's too. Niggas don't realize it today. 40 with, but look, the propaganda aimed at.
Bro,
they hung Irish too.
They hung
Irish too. They folks too, man.
They definitely hung Irish people too. They also lynched other indigenous slaves who were not black. They were white indigenous slaves too.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Depp.
What's good?
What's going on? Hey.
I don't like that nigga shit.
So look, it is Eminem. Listen, when I was younger, right? When I was younger, I didn't think it was him. I heard it was supposed to be a rapper named Mannix or something like that.
Yeah,
there's nothing like jokes about Trayvon Martin or some shit like that. It was not like that. This was straight up. No, if you any Spanish women that fuck black dudes, you should die. I hate black babies. I hate black pepper. I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips. Like what?
Yeah, yo, this is the worst rollout ever, man.
Yeah, he was better off going on camera and saying, "Yo, y'all found those tweets. Guess what? I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, wait. I don't know if that would be the best way to go about it. But wait a minute, hold on a second.
I think that's better than this.
It's better than this. Definitely better. People.
Not anymore.
And you know the thing too that really gets to me about like the pro black people, y'all put these white people's y'all put you put these white people's pedestal. They say one wrong thing, they're racist, they're the worst person in the world, but like niggas be saying the foulest shit to each other. I'm smoking on this nigga, I'm smoking on that nigga. Nobody bats an eye at that shit though.
Yeah, facts. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. That goes back to like the Jason Aldean song, and I wanted to cover that shit too, but I ended up not covering it. But that Jason Aldean song, the Try That in a Small Town. If y'all in the chat, y'all heard about that song, maybe it was some song that came out called Try That in a Small Town, where the dude is talking about these BLM riots, all these other Antifa protests. Motherfuckers destroying their own neighborhoods because of a dead fucking fentanyl addict porn star who was possibly a Mason himself, right? And he said, all right, try to do that shit in my town. See what happens. They try to say that song is racist. What's racist about that song?
Try That in a Small Town by the country music superstar, Jason Aldean. The video was shot in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia. This is important. This is Columbia, Tennessee. That site where the video was shot is famous for the 1927 mob lynching of Henry Choate, who was an 18-year-old black male. Let me read some of the lyrics. So according to this old lady that read, ate it up, yeah, take care of our own, that my grand tried that in a small town, see how far, statement on Twitter. In the past 24 hours, I have been accused of releasing pro-lynching song that has been out since May and was subject to the comparison that I, direct quote, was not too pleased with the nationwide Black Lives Matter protest. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous. There is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it. And there isn't a single video clip that isn't real news footage. And while I can try and respect others to have their own interpretation of a song with music, this one goes too far. Sir, you did your video at the site of a major murder that was race related against a young black teenager. The statement continues, try that in a small town for me refers to the feeling of a community that I had growing up, where we took care of our neighbors, regardless of differences of background or belief, because they were our neighbors. And that was above any differences. My political views have never been something I've hidden from. And I know that a lot of us in this country don't agree on how we get back to a sense of normalcy, where we go at least a day without a headline that keeps us up at night. But the desire for it to, that's what this song is about. However, fellow country singer Margot Price called out the time Jason dressed in blackface for Halloween. Sir, that's pretty racist. So Margot Price, a colleague, just popping on here to say Jason is a clown. What else do y'all expect from a man who wore blackface in 2015? Jason defended it at the time with an interview on Billboard. Let's put it up. He said about blackface, in this day and age, people are so sensitive that no matter what you do, somebody's going to make a big deal out of it. Me doing that has zero malicious intent. I get that race is a touchy subject, but not everybody's that way. Media tends to make a big deal out of things. If that was disrespectful to anyone, I by all means apologize. That was never my intention. It never crossed my mind. End quote. From 2015 to 2019, it's insane. He wore a Confederate flag shirt on stage that same year. A purportedly official Jason Tour shirt was included, that included the Confederate flag, was available to purchase online. The Confederate flag is racist. He also wore an Alabama shirt with the Confederate flag on it in 2019. News reports from 2015 and 2017 suggest his association with the flag goes back years earlier. I gotta say this, sir, the narrative that you have presented does not align with the behavior you engage in. When other country music artists are literally calling you racist AF, and you're still defending your racism without any acknowledgement directly to black people at all, sir, you may want to check yourself in the mirror. All right, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing that is ultimately saying, and this is how insidious this is, system here, that's not how it works, but that's what
recommend you don't try that in a small town.
So how is this song racist?
The video was shot in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia. This is important. This is Columbia, Tennessee. That site where the video was shot is famous for the 1927 mob lynching of Henry Choate, who was an 18-year-old black male.
So, how is this song racist? I don't understand it. ADG said Armenian is not a race, it's an ethnicity. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, though. You understand what I'm saying? That looked like a trans person from Turkey. Okay? They're talking about people's blatant disrespect for law and order and destruction of their own neighborhoods in terms of claiming for it to be a protest type of shit. He's saying, try that shit in my town, nigga. You ain't gonna make it down the road. We gonna blast you niggas. Try that shit. How is that racist? Oh, here we go. So on code 247.
Yeah,
What's good, G? Welcome to the show, brother.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Not much. I don't want to act like I'm hiding behind the keyboard. I come up here.
I respect it. I respect it. Come up here. What's your opinion, brother? Tell, because I saw you were leaving a lot of comments. I couldn't read all of them.
Yeah, I
But
was lit. I mean, this right here, what they used to do in small towns is something similar to sundown towns, where the police, the government, and all the state officials were perfectly condoning burning homes and chasing and killing people right in small towns because it wasn't national news.
But brother, in the song though, he's specifically speaking out against that type of destruction of property.
But see, I think you're looking at it backwards. When he showed people rioting, that's what he's saying, try in a small town. Not police killings, not like mass murder, stuff like that. He's saying try to riot and protest in a small town because the secret meaning, the lesser meaning is we ain't gonna get in trouble out here. The police is with it. We had coffee with them in the diner. We go to church and sit next to them. It ain't like a big city.
Hold on, my bad, on code. I just want to ask you something. Don't you think we should have that type of tight-knit community in our neighborhoods as well? Don't you think we should have some type of relationship with the police officers? We should all know one another, and then the police officers will have a stronger relationship with the community if that were the case. Like
we had that. We had that, and it was called the Black Panther Party, where we policed ourselves. And
the Black Panther Party was like CIA, though.
Hold on, let me get
go ahead.
Though. So when we had something similar to that, I'll rephrase it. When we had something similar to that, why was it targeted and dismantled by the FBI? You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just asking why, if it was a part of it. So why would they take it apart if we had something similar to policing ourselves? Whether it was CIA or not, because the police is feds, and you just said we should have a relationship with the federally funded police. So if we have our own federally related police of us, we had that. Why did they infiltrate that with COINTELPRO?
Hold on, what's all this sound in the background? My bad.
No problem. Take your time. Take your time.
And
no problem. Take your time. Take your time.
And I got you. In terms of the Black Panther Party, the Black Panther Party was exposed to the inside just to send a message out there. Because also, not for nothing, the Black Panther Party was not necessary for the federal government after a certain point. And then that spread out to become more of like the gangs. The Crip gang spawned from the Black Panther Party. That's like a known like type of thing right there. And that spawned all types of gang culture throughout the country. It was another phase that they were going into in terms of that grander scheme of agenda. But besides all of that, in terms of regular police officers, well, we're not even going to think about this other type of shit that's going on. In terms of in a perfect world where we're living with no corruption. If we're living in a perfect world with no corruption, then we would have a valid police force that I would believe the community would want to have a better relationship with because they're all part of the same type of neighborhood. They're all part
right.
Of the
so
same
then the discussion becomes we need an uncorrupt police system, right? We all for it. We all want to be protected by the gun. Cool. Police got a gun. I don't. Cool. Long as you.
Well, no, I don't think that's cool. I think civilians should have a gun. I think we should all carry weapons.
I'm talking about work. Right. I feel you. That's your personal opinion. But I'm saying when you think outside yourself about the grandmas and the square motherfuckers that's just going to work. Some people scared of guns. Some people that had traumatizing situation from guns. So everybody don't really want a gun, but they find with security and police having them. So the conversation really is we need a just, unbiased, not racially motivated police system. That's the conversation we have.
I believe we do have that.
We have a justified. So hold on. We have a justified police system.
I believe for the most part, most cops go out there and they're doing a good job.
Okay, if that was the case,
police are doing a good job.
But hold on, feel me though. If that was the case, why we never see another officer pulling another officer off another victim? You never seen them wrestle over no gun. You never seen an officer play hero. They always respect the badge. They don't cross the blue line. You could be a good cop. That make you a good cop in the face of injustice where you do not.
I've actually have seen it.
Speak
on
that.
I've seen at a higher level though. There is problems within that. I understand what you're saying though, because that's with any type of system. So I support the body cameras. I support all of that stuff being transparent and us being aware of what's going on. So hopefully things could change over time. I don't think it's perfect. I just think it's much better than a lot of people try to make it out to be.
No, but if people have a lot of evidence, and the one thing I want to point out about that Stanford experiment is those were white people, right? You said that, right?
Yeah, these were like white folks.
Historically, even down to the soil you standing on, white people have spilled blood to gain their power historically, right?
So it's everybody, every nation in the world. Yes.
But hold on, let's focus. Let's stay at the specific group of people we talking about, which the experiment was done.
All right, but if you're gonna say that about every color, every creed of person, nation across the planet, they've spilled blood in order to conquer different types of lands and develop their nations. So that was happening all throughout Africa as well.
So name you. We talking about even up to the soil you standing on today. America was founded in blood. Native Americans wiped out. Name me 3 major African wars that was considered genocide. Give me 3. Since it's so common, give me 3.
What was the movie they just did? The Woman King.
No, that was proven factually not accurate. That's not.
No, that's fact. No. The movie's factually inaccurate because they lie about the situation regarding them trying to abolish slavery when in reality they were trying to enslave all the other nations. And they were actually doing nasty rituals like decapitating these people and drinking their blood as well.
But who were the Dahomey tribe?
The Dahomey tribe. There you go. The Dahomey tribe.
Who were they working for? Who were they working for?
Themselves.
No, they weren't. They was working.
What do you mean? It was Europeans. It was Europeans that went in there and stopped them.
That's not true.
That's 100% facts. Well, no, you need to do your research. You need to do your research, dog.
Wait.
Hold no. You think?
What are you talking about?
Hold on. You think Hollywood would have made a picture?
No. I'm not talking about Hollywood. No, Hollywood lied about it. They tried to claim that. They tried to claim that these women that were leading the Dahomey tribe were actually trying to abolish slavery. That's not true.
So okay, I'll give you that. Give me 2 more. I'll give you that. Give me 2 more. Since it's
Kemet,
so common.
ancient Kemet, how they when they enslaved the Hebrew Israelites. Let's talk about that.
Those was Greece. That was Greece. That wasn't. Give you that. Give me 2 more. Since it's
Kemet,
so common.
ancient Kemet, how they when they enslaved the Hebrew Israelites. Let's talk about that.
Those was Greece. That was Greece.
It's not. What are you talking about? This was ancient Kemet.
Hold on. So you think ancient Kemet?
Yes, they had Israelites. Yes, they did.
So were they Ashkenazi Israelites or they was black Hebrew?
No, these are black Hebrew Israelites. This is before Esau.
So what it is that's their refuge.
This was all happening within Africa. It's not just again. I don't know why people hold up. I don't know why brothers believe that it's only white folks that were doing this to other nations. I just don't understand that y'all put white people on this pedestal.
What it is that's their reputation. Powerful. That's their resume. That's your resume.
That's all people. What do you think was happening in America before the
Europeans? A lot of people resume.
So even with that being said,
that's history. That's human. Resume. No, that's not white resume.
It's
that's
on a lot of people resume.
That's human resume. That's the history of humanity.
Okay, so my point still stands valid that it's still their resume. It doesn't disprove my point.
All right, so what's happening?
It's not their resume. It's a bunch of people's resume.
Right, and they're one of the bunch. It's their resume as well. Facts.
But how can you drive a point home that it's everybody, bro? So how can you try to stick that on one thing to drive on one nation to drive your point home when there's a bunch of nations rocking like that?
Okay.
Or that has rocked like that.
My point is that they're not unviolent. They're not undeviant. Right. My point is
my point is who is. My point is who is.
So, but you're not proving me
so
wrong.
What race of people are nonviolent? What race of people are nonviolent throughout history?
I would have to say, if you look at the world's I made a video on this. The world's most leading people with the most body, Stalin and Hitler and all them type them. It's no melanated people on that list. So by the factual data of who killed the most people on the planet, factually, Genghis Khan, you name it, everybody on that list is non-melanated. The most person with the most body is
Who killed more black
Well,
people today?
well,
I'm about
well,
to
well,
look
but
it
that,
up
well,
right now. I'm
that's
about to look
because,
it.
well, hold on. That's because we know who the white man is. Like, if we're gonna go in the scriptures, we know the white man is Esau, right? We're all described in the Bible. He was the great hunter. Of course, white folks gonna kill better than niggas. Like, what are you really saying?
No. So you mean to tell me the Moors didn't civilize white people? The Moors didn't civilize
That's
white
not the,
people?
that's not the,
Oh,
that's not
man,
the
I can't
point.
stand
That's
these
not the
racist ass
point.
niggas, man. These
So how would
racist
they?
niggas be
That's
Oh,
fucking
definitely
making me
not the
sick,
point. That's
dog.
definitely
Then
Like,
not the
fuck it. I'ma
point.
that's
stand
That's
on it.
that
Even if
that's
you
racism
not the
shit,
racist,
bro.
point.
That's not the
my
point,
That's
bro.
racism
not the
is
point.
That's
reproduction.
not the
That's
point
that's
at
not
all.
the point. That's not the point. If you want to keep it real, they shouldn't have civilized them in the first place. Because you saw what happened
That was
afterwards. So what's
right.
what's the
And
point?
if you want to keep it all the way funky, the Moors is Islamic. So it was Islam that really made
the
them
Moors were
crack a woke
so-called
up
black.
like
Bro, you're just
the
like
Moors wore the
talking
turban and the
and
fez.
yo,
That's a
it doesn't
Yeah,
fact.
it
The
does
Moors wore the
yo, bro.
he
turban
wanna
and the
prove
fez.
something like that.
Yeah,
That's
what
been
are you
proven
what are you
already.
trying to what are you trying to say though?
My
Like
point
I don't
is
get
that the
that white
troglodyte
people
are
are
inherently
bad,
evil.
right?
The
Yeah,
pineal
we
gland
know,
being out. Yeah, so
we
that
know
stand
this
on that.
though. We know
We're
this.
gonna
We
stand on
know
that. We're
White
this.
not
people,
What,
going nowhere from that. We ain't
imagine
going
James was
nowhere.
out here saying this, man. That it's just so hypocritical. It's so
He would have
stupid.
got
It's so
listen,
stupid.
listen, he would
but
have
I'm
It
got
saying
is. I
what's
agree. It's
smoked
the
dumb,
if
bro.
he was
It's
out
real
here.
dumb.
So why he ain't talking about his own people? Why he ain't talking that Latino crime and the
bro?
Latino
He's
babies and
not
where did
Latino. He's Greek. All right, so I
Yeah,
can't
he's
deal with it. I'm
Greek.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
yo.
can't,
Yo,
bro. I can't, bro.
let me just
Yeah,
Adept,
It's
real
just
quick,
the
Adept.
racism is so stupid, bro. All right,
yeah.
so
It
we're gonna
It
is
talk
dumb.
doesn't.
It
about
is dumb. And I wanted to say something pertaining to how dumb it is. Like, we had motherfucking Joe Biden with that crime bill talk the shit he did about